This is All Day Everyday Preparedness, and this is All Day Everyday Preparedness News. Have a breaking story. The railroad strike 2022 may happen after all. 2 unions have rejected the latest proposal. If this railroad strike goes through and the rail workers strike, this could be another major blow to our economy and our weakened food supply chain. I want to remind you that if this railroad strike happens, you need to be preparing for more empty shelves and unfortunately more food shortages. Now, according to reports, a railroad strike would cripple the economy, and people would soon be living in Shtf mode, at least for the short term. Now, more than 60% of railroad union members voted not to ratify the agreement. The BRS, the Brotherhood of Railroad Signalmen, represent around 10,000 railroad workers and is one of the last 3 unions still at the negotiating table. Now, with everything going on with inflation, supply chain woes, and possibly World War III breaking out, the last thing we need right now is a railroad strike. Now, according to reports, if this railroad strike isn't averted, the strike could begin as soon as November 19th. Now, this railroad strike would be, again, a crippling blow to the economy, and it would create sky-high inflation. Now, as I mentioned in a previous video on this railroad strike, America is already seeing a truck driver shortage, and according to reports, the industry is about 80,000 truck drivers short. So if this railroad strike does happen, you can cancel Christmas, literally. Now, there just won't be enough trucks and truck drivers to haul all the goods from point A to point B if the railroad is on strike. Now, I recently talked with a truck driver friend of mine, and he's contemplating coming out of the trucking industry. He said that loads aren't paying what they used to, and that many drivers are struggling with the cheaper load rates and the higher gas and the higher maintenance cost. Now, switching back to the railroad strike, it's estimated that a railroad strike would cost the economy $2 billion per day. Now, Union Pacific CEO Lance Fritz says that he doesn't think that a railroad strike is probable, but that it was still possible. So there are a lot of things going on in the world right now, guys. It doesn't matter which way you turn, there's something going on that could easily throw us into SHTF mode. So whatever happens with this railroad strike, either way, if you aren't prepared, you need to start prepping and get prepared as soon as possible. Turmoil and disaster seems to be just lurking around the atmosphere, guys. Now, as preppers, we need to keep on prepping and make sure that we're ready for SHTF at all times. Now, if you're new to prepping, or if this is your first time watching a prepper channel, you see that's exactly why as preppers we prepare. You don't know what might happen, but you want to be as prepared as possible for disaster if one does occur. Now, depending on, again, if this railroad strike goes through and depending on how long it would last, you need to have some extra food and water and supplies available at a bare minimum. Now, again, this railroad strike would exacerbate the already weakened food supply chain, and grocery stores more than likely would experience empty shelves again. And as a nation, we possibly would experience a minor food shortage. Now, to learn more about this railroad strike and the potential damage that it could bring our way, please check out this previous video I did on it right here. It has more details on facts and figures and what to expect if the railroad strike actually does happen. Either way, keep prepping and start prepping if you haven't already. Now, if you want to learn more about how you can start prepping for just $10 per week, then check this video out right there. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on any new content, and share this video with others on social media. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Continue to prepare, and as always, be blessed.